Hello, 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 my crafty friends. Happy Monday here at the Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel. How are you guys doing? I hope my audio sounds good. I hope my video looks good. It looks great over on my screen, so I just want to make sure that it is jiving well today. I thought I would do a little bit different type of live stream. I wanted to answer a question that I have been getting a lot recently here and there that I thought it would be so good to do a story time and kind of a little teaching on as well. That would be super, super awesome. So I'm just going to make sure that my audio is working. Oh, I love when my microphone and technology works. If you are a creator, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So as you guys tune in, share with me where you're visiting from. Let me know what you've got going on in your neck of the woods. Whether you are tuning in live with me or you're watching the replay, I may actually publish this as like a podcast episode in the future as well. I just wanted to record this and get this out into the YouTube space because I have so many people here that are creatives that have been crafting, that have successfully been selling their crafts, but they need to pivot and they need to evolve. And when you're on a journey of being able to really, decide who you are and what you're doing, getting a lot of success and getting a lot of praise from a vehicle like selling your crafts is amazing. It really boosts your self esteem and it helps you feel validated for the first time ever. I don't know about you, but when I first started selling my crafts, the validation when someone pays you for something you absolutely adore is game changer, right? Does anyone relate to that? Right? If you are able to do something you absolutely adore and you're able to get paid for it, like it just is different, right? Like, can I get an amen? What I find with my clients and my customers and my friends is that, oh my gosh, if they're working a job that they are not a big fan of, that they're burnt out, that they're tired and they need something different, when they start selling their crafts, they are able to really have a shift and a pivot that they're like, wait, doing something I adore and love is amazing. And I got paid for it. Right. So I've helped hundreds, if not thousands of people take the first step to start selling their crafts. And the reason why I find that this step is so important is that it is the foundation and that first step that it was so easy and for me to first put myself out there, right? Like if you look at the confidence that I have today, if you look at where I'm at today in my life and my business, if you looked back 12 years ago, the first step that every single person can take if you have never sold anything before and you love crafting and you're great at crafting is your crafts, right? So, what I want to do on today's live stream is kind of go over what led to and what got me to where I had to pivot and kind of talk about that journey. I have some notes here of people that of steps in the process that I thought would just be really resourceful for you to try to see if you are in this transition, if you feel like you are getting to that transition, things like that. All right. So, what I also want to let you guys know before we dive in, love seeing everyone in the chat. Hey, hey, hey. So good to see you all. Is that I'm hosting a 3-day event. It is a 3-day event. I have never hosted one like this before. It's a workshop, it's a live workshop. I am so excited to host it. I'm going to drop a link. If you have not got your ticket, all right, go get your ticket. Okay. All my inner circle members, you're getting a free VIP ticket, so go ahead, get that. It is so exciting. Check your email. If you are not in Inner Circle, you can grab a free ticket and just attend all of the days live, or you can go VIP for $27. It's a no-brainer. All right. So over the 3 days, it's May 5th, 6th, and 7th, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, 6th to 8th. Sorry, May 6th, 7th, and 8th. We are going over a 3-day journey. So, day one, I'm uncovering the new way to monetize your knowledge. Day two, I'm teaching a profit creator framework. And day three, I'm going to explain and share exactly the blueprint for you to be profiting. All right. So many of you have asked me over the years to teach more on being a creator and how to have a business that allows you to be a creator. So I'm going to uncover that at this workshop. So it's for the right person who may be on the sidelines. Maybe you've tried creating content before and it just hasn't worked out. You haven't been able to make it work. Just grab a seat. Okay. So you can go free or you can go VIP. I've made the options available for each of you. I highly recommend the VIP because I have coaching each day. So I'll be spending an hour coaching all my clients. I would love for you to be there. Watching someone get coached is very valuable, as well as I can look at your ideas and help you kind of get clarity and unstuck. So I'm super, super excited for you guys. It's going to be really, really awesome. But yeah, so go ahead and register if you want. But today, I just want to dive in and talk about my journey of selling my crafts and what led me to transitioning and what led me to pivoting out of it because it is really uncomfortable when you are actually really successful, right? Like it's so funny that as we evolve, we have to pivot and we have to transition. And I've helped people all across the board kind of reach for greater. And that was kind of that process for me. So, if you're super excited, I'm so excited to dive into this story, share a little bit more about my own journey. I have a podcast episode I recorded with one of my dearest friends coming out tomorrow that will share even more about my story, which I'm super excited about. But I thought this one would be really relevant for anyone that is, going through their life, going through their journey when they feel like they're called for more. So it's going to be super, super exciting. Okay. I love it, love it, love it. Let's dive in. So let's go back to 2010, maybe 2011. I was selling my crafts. I had my Etsy store. I was getting local orders coming in. It was really successful for me, right? Felt really empowered. I remember getting a 75 card order for Christmas cards, and I just felt on top of the world. I would literally spend every evening working on all my orders. It was really fantastic, right? If you have ever felt that, you're like, oh my gosh, this is everything I want. But what happened for me and my circumstance is that where my life was, for many different reasons, I had a lot of life circumstances come in my way, right? My mom lost her job, became not able to care for our home. If you know anything about my story, I have a single mom. So she had recently, a couple years before this, got divorced and bought her first house. Okay. So she bought her first house in like 2008 or so. And then, like 2 or 3 years later, ended up losing her job. So it was very unfortunate circumstances. And, coming from a single mom that had worked really hard to get to where we were, my natural instinct was to, how can I help? How can I pitch in? And how can I do this math? And, I did the local math of like getting a part time job, right? Like if I could work part time and pay a bill or two, great. I think I did the math and it was like less than $500 a month that you could work because of child labor laws. And I was like, okay, so that was out. And then I was like, okay, if I was to take my knowledge of crafting and I was able to like really sell my crafts at scale, what does that look like? What does that feel like? Does it feel achievable? And that's a really big question to ask yourself. Does it feel achievable for me? So I wrote down what I thought my bills were. I think I had $2,500 a month or $3,500 a month of bills for my household bills, like my mom's bills, essentially. I was like very young. And I was like, okay, that would be a lot of work to create that much value in trading my crafts. So I started asking myself, like, if I was going to do that, what would it look like and how could I get there? Right. And the first thing that came to my mind was bulk orders. And as I thought through it and thought through it, I was like, that doesn't sound creative to me. that sounds like I'm running like a print shop. And that just wasn't what I was after. Like if I was going to, make things at scale, like hundreds of things, right? Like I did the 75 card order and I was like, this is really interesting. And I liked it, but I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I love making the same card 75 times. Like it just wasn't working for me, right? Because when you take something that's working at $500 a month or $1,000 a month, like scaling that to, six figures, in Ashley Falco's example, who is a friend of the channel, you're doing a lot of work, right? I don't want to sugarcoat this. Hitting thousands of dollars a month, you are doing a lot of work. And what I found is that you're actually creating two jobs for yourself, right? And the first job is to get the order, to get the client, right? That's my favorite part of the job, right? Putting yourself out there, finding clients, talking to people. That's my jam. I love it. I love, love, love getting to be, very front and center with my clients. Like you get to learn why they need the order, who's it for, everything like that, right? So that's the first job. But the second job, when you get an order, is the fulfillment side of the job. So when you get to that standpoint of, I want to say $2,000 to $4,000 a month, you have to really kind of have your process dialed in so well that you feel super, super confident. And what I decided at that point was I have a really great side hustle. I love what I'm doing selling my crafts. I love having these big orders come in, but I don't want to be dependent on these big orders. I don't want to be dependent on these orders. I know there's a different way, right? I know there's a different way. And as I did the math, to make $2,500 with $25 average order, like if you're selling something, you would want to make sure your average cart value per transaction being about $25, that's 100 orders a month, right? So if you're going to $4,000 a month, you're doing 160 orders per month. So that's just a wide range and that needs to feel doable. Tara says, my favorite part is fulfillment of the order. I don't like drumming up clients and buyers. Right. So we all have like one or the other. From what I found is that you either love just the doing or you love the marketing, you love the excitement of that, right? So, but it takes both to have a thriving business. And we can touch on that. So super, super important. But 160 orders to pay our bills sounded really hard, right? So that was where I was. And what I found was like if you hit your best case, right? Like if you hit that goal, you're super busy. You're unbelievably busy, right? Like this is a lot of work. So, chances are if you're able to sell and you're able to reach a higher caliber at the thousands of dollars a month level, and this doesn't matter if you're running an Etsy shop, if you're running local business, if you're, have your own website, if you're running a Facebook group, if you're able to sell something, and you're reaching the thousands of dollars a month level, here's the thing. Chances are you're already an expert. Chances are you are naturally just a higher caliber individual in your business. And, what I've found working with many people in the industry, working with myself, reviewing myself, is that when I get into the realm of creation and really getting out there, I found that I wasn't being fulfilled doing the same thing over and over again, right? I'm a natural high performer where I want to be in new scenarios. I want to try new things. I want to really figure out how to not do the same thing over and over again every day. If you've been a friend of my channel over the, past decade, almost every 6 months you could look back and be like, wow, my day-to-day schedule looks very different than it did the past 6 months or the past year. And what I want to ask you, and one question that could be that you could use to kind of probe and see where you're at in this journey is is what you're doing every single day right now fulfilling to you, right? That's such a great question to ask yourself. Like, if all I do today is what's required, what's on my plan, is am I satisfied? It's one of my favorite questions to ask. And chances are, when you bring in a lot of orders, when you bring in a lot of success, it feels really good, but the fulfillment side of things could be hard, or getting the orders could feel very hard, right? Like, there can be a flow, and that's what I want to just kind of share with you about the journey of transition today, because so many of us stay small because we're not willing to bet on ourselves, right? Or we feel like we shouldn't expect more, or we shouldn't want more because we reached our goal. But what I want to offer and what I want to talk about today is, if you've hit your goal, what are you working towards? If you continue doing the same thing over and over again and just waiting to get a new result, what if you did something different? Right? What if you did something different? And that's what I kind of want to challenge people to think about and consider. And it's very uncomfortable, right? It's very uncomfortable to leave what you've found to be common and what you found to be natural and what you found to be easy, because you've made it easy because you worked so hard to develop it, right? And to try something new, because that's what I did in 2010, 2011. I was both selling my crafts, and I don't talk about it a ton, but I had like a clear acrylic stamp line, and I had my mom had given me quite a bit of money before she had lost her job to kind of play around with that too. So I had a printer. I was ordering these clear acrylic stamps, and I was selling a physical product. Again, the fulfillment side and the shipping side of things was just not my jive. Like, it just wasn't working for me. So what I had to do, and I'll never forget, deciding that I wasn't going to sell my crafts and I wasn't going to sell physical items any longer. I was going to monetize my knowledge, and I was going to figure out how to make being a creator a job. And that's what I'm teaching at my workshop, is really explaining and exposing you to how monetizing your knowledge could be the easiest and simplest way to hit your income goal. Because when you're able to monetize your knowledge, when you're able to take your expertise and you're able to monetize it and help someone else be able to understand your skill set, that is how you can get paid without having to essentially go through all the repetition, right? All the repetition, the same process over and over again. And that's what as soon as I was exposed to this, probably in 2013, 2014, things like that, I really couldn't unsee it, right? When you think about monetizing your knowledge, what you're saying is, I have went through the pain of learning something. Let me show you how to do it so you don't experience that pain, right? It's very different. And what I really want to kind of uncover is, to evolve into transition is very uncomfortable, because when you're in transition, you have to believe in yourself before you have the result you want, right? I had to believe in myself. Like, looking back, I look at all of the things I have done in my business, that I had to believe in myself before I got the result that I was going after. And what I want to speak to a lot of you out there today, you are successful. You are reaching your goals. You can do the same thing you did last year really well. You can go over and over. What you need to understand is that if you're not being fulfilled, you need to figure out what's next for you and how to go from where you're at today to where you want to go. And some of us need to just reaffirm what we're doing, redecide that we want to stay where we're at, or we have to see where we want to go. I was just talking to a business colleague about like what's their new North Star. They're a new parent, they're wanting to have a simpler business. And I was like, oh, like this is your new North Star, just like a simpler business, one that can run well and things like that. Donna says, after watching some of the other crafting influencers, it seems like you need a lot of cameras, lighting, and assistance to be able to show and share in a way that's easy for viewers to see. Donna, no. That's so funny is our brains love to show us all the things we're lacking instead of all the things we have. So fun fact, Tanner Bell started on YouTube in 2010 with a webcam. With a webcam. No team, no camera, no audio equipment. And I uploaded my videos and I didn't even title them. They were untitled, right? Like when I look back and realize that's what it looks like to just start instead of looking at all the things I lacked and all the things. And even in 2010, people were editing videos really well, like in comparison to no editing at all. Oh my gosh, Complete Creations LLC. I literally use my iPhone and have been making videos for 2 years. You can make so many amazing videos just with your iPhone nowadays. It is crazy to me. So it's fun to kind of play this game with our brain where we look at everyone else and we're like, oh my gosh, they have all these things. And it's easy. What's happening is our brain is allowing us to make an excuse on why we're not going to do it. Donna's a client of mine. So, Donna, I hope you're registered for the workshop coming up next week. I'd love to coach you on some of these things at the VIP sessions. But what we want to do for your brain, in Donna's case, of like, oh, we need all these other things. And what we do with our clients is we teach them to just use what they have and take massive action, right? That's all we're going to do. So what I would say back to, that thought, Donna, is okay, what do I have that I could make a piece of content right now? But again, that'll be at the workshop. It'll be so good. So that's what I wanted to kind of talk about is more of the reasons why I made that transition and kind of what my thoughts were in that process. So to leave something that is super successful and something that I felt really, proud of, to do something I had never done before was very, very uncomfortable for me. And I just want to invite you to think about the amount of success you are going to achieve is dependent on how uncomfortable you're willing to get. How uncomfortable are you truly willing to get? And when you think about that and when you sit with that, that's going to kind of create how much success you're going to achieve. Because if you're someone that's saying, Tanner, I am too scared, I am not willing to take any action, I'm not willing to do anything that sounds remotely scary to me, here's what I can tell you. You're not going to hit your goal, probably. You're not going to get to the level that you could if you're willing to say, hey, I'm willing to do something if it's uncomfortable to me. Even if it feels hard, I'm still willing to do it. Like that's what I want you to consider and think about. And Tara, yes, we do have a link for you to register. There's a coupon code too for VIP. So check your email or email customer service. They'll give it to you. Yeah, I love it. Because I've been a maker for 13 years, making it all out of my home with an Etsy shop, I now realize I'm 71 years old and I don't need to have a full-time business. I'm financially fit, but I'm wondering why I do it at all anymore. First of all, can we just honor that your past self has taken care of you so well, right? Like you have taken care of yourself so that you are at this place where you have the luxury of reconsidering, right? reconsidering and redeciding what you've been doing. Is that what you want to do? Do you want to do it in a new way? Do you want to do it in a new purpose? Do you want to have a new mission? Right. So I would definitely recommend signing up for my 3-day workshop next week. It's not live on YouTube, but you do have to register. All right. Love it, love it, love it. Um, yes, Susan says we could be experts. Y'all, I mean, look at our friend here. She's been a maker for 13 years. 13 years. Like she has so much knowledge in her brain that she could be teaching other people how to do what she does, right? We've been talking to a lot of people about monetizing their knowledge. And what's so fun about this industry and this community we have here is if you sign up for the workshop, you get an opportunity to talk to someone on my team that is a success coach with me, and they can talk to you about working with me in a program called Less Hustle, More Profit. But here's what's been so fun about these conversations that our team's been having. We have been helping people see their knowledge. So a lot of people assume just because they, are in my community, they only want to talk about their crafts. But what I found to be so cool is that so many people here have knowledge far beyond crafting that could be even more, higher leverage for them than their crafts. For example, we have someone who's an autism coach in our program. We have someone that works on the spine. We have someone that works with realtors. Instead of, just doing her crafting, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm an experienced realtor. Like I could teach people how to be a very successful, realtor and build their career that way. Like it is so incredible. Michelle says, I'm 60 years old and handicapped and don't have the energy to start a business. Michelle, I find it interesting that you're even at the live stream, right? So I want to challenge you and just question, do you feel like it's too hard that you don't? Or are you looking to find a business that fits your restrictions or, where you're at in your life, right? Because what's fun is when we're gravitated to certain types of content, it always makes me wonder, like, is that true? Like, are you waiting for someone to give you permission to like try anyway? Because like if you're looking for permission, I give you full permission to like have a business with your own rules. If it's 20 hours a week, 15 hours a week, right? Things like that. So good. Mouse Baby Hickman, I've been with Cricut since they started. I've had an Etsy shop for 10 plus years. I haven't hit my goal. What am I doing wrong? All right, so I don't know your Etsy shop exactly to look at and give feedback, but what I love to tell each person who isn't hitting their goal, if we're talking about with your Etsy shop, chances are you're not making enough offers. All right. So, what that means is you're not putting yourself out there enough. Right. So, if you're just making an Etsy listing and you have one listing, two listings, and you're just waiting, right? You're not doing anything else to create sales, then chances are you are just not making enough offers. So, what I would recommend is to challenge yourself. And if you want to share your goal here in the comments, feel free. Go for it. I would love to kind of reverse engineer it, but you need to put yourself out there more. You need to find ways to create that goal. So, what I would do is take the goal. So, your friend advertises your shop on YouTube all the time. Well, if your friend is advertising it, right? And you're not getting sales, then it's not getting in front of the right people. So you want to find new people to put yourself out there. And I don't want your friend advertising you. I want you to get out there because no one is going to sell yourself like you will, truthfully. No one else can talk about, to the person the right way, to sell it the right way than you, right? Etsy's all about algorithms, same with most social media. Exactly, exactly. And that's what we're going to talk about. Like, imagine, what we're teaching next week is why being a creator is kind of like being a magnet. So you're putting content, videos online. You are simply being a magnet, right? The algorithm is wanting to connect you with your potential customer. And there it's just like magnetizing the right people to you, right? for free just because they need people posting videos and content on the platform for them to stay in business. So, like, they need you and you need them. So, what happens when you post content, the right people are going to see it for free without having to pay. Hugely beneficial. And you have the opportunity to build a relationship, share something, become an expert. And then if you are, teaching something, sharing something, you can build your own product. Now, that makes people very uncomfortable because think about all the things that come up. Who am I to create a product? Who am I to sell a digital product? Who am I? Right? And the question is, who are you? Well, for most of us, we're makers, we're experts that have been doing this 13 years. That's who we are. And we're not looking to sell to thousands and thousands of people. When I realized that I could reach my goal with less than 200 clients paying me on a monthly basis, my life changed forever. My life truly changed forever. So that's why I'm hosting this 3-day challenge. It's going to be phenomenal. I'm so, so excited. Again, we are going to kind of lay out, the opportunity and the new way to take your knowledge and turn it into a business. I'm going to teach you how being a creator is going to help you be profitable and actually help you find your ideal customer right away. And lastly, at day 3, I'm unveiling the complete blueprint. So like you could literally just take the blueprint and implement it and just, go over and over again with it. So that's super, super exciting. Again, if you go VIP, I will be able to like have a Zoom room where you can like raise your hand and be like, hey, Tanner, can we talk about my business idea? Can we talk about like where I'm at? Can we talk about, what I'm doing and what do you think I could, use help with or anything like that? I'll be there. So that's what you get if you go VIP. You can sign up for free. The free ticket only has 24-hour replays. So you have to watch the curriculum, the teachings within 24 hours. So if you know you need more time, if you are not available during those times, things like that, go VIP. You have lifetime access. All right. I love it, love it, love it. I'm here. I've just started to consider opening an Etsy. I'm not sure where to start and I'm worried about having enough stock. Denise, yes, I love, love, love doing like pre-orders. I love made to order. So if you're wanting to take a lot of the, the worry or pressure off of yourself, here's what you should do. You should say, hey, you place an order and then guess what? I'm giving myself 3 weeks to complete the order and I'll get it to you. And that's your boundary, right? Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, take the leap. It'll be so much fun and you'll figure it out. Most of my clients either have a fear of success or a fear of failure. And as soon as you can think and ask yourself, like, wait, am I not doing this because I think I'm going to fail and that means I'm not worthy? That could be you. Or a lot of people, believe it or not, have fear that it's going to be too successful. It's going to work out too well. It's going to be too easy. They're going to make too much money. They're going to let their customer down because they can't keep up with the demand. So ask yourself, which one are you? And once you realize which one you are, what I find is that as soon as you shed light, as soon as you notice it, you're able to change it. You're able to shift out of it and start taking action. So I promise you, it will be fun to put yourself out there. It'll be fun to, try something new. And if you're interested in learning what it looks like to be a creator who gets paid for their knowledge and not their time in, sign up for the workshop. All right. It's going to be so, so good. I'm so excited. I can't believe I hadn't made a YouTube video or anything about it. It has been the craziest April ever. But yeah, my children are taking a little nap. So I thought I would come on and do a little live. It is so good. Valerie says you and your team always look forward to future projects while assisting others who only look back. No one ever feels they should be further ahead of where they are. So true. It happens all the time. Like, I think, you said no one ever feels they should be further ahead of where they are. So yeah, I totally, totally agree with you guys. You all are awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Do you all have any other last minute questions before I head out? I've been obsessed with this new coffee shop. It is so fun. Mm. I got a latte today, and I was like, I want a latte with an extra shot. And they're like, that's 6 shots. And I'm like, well, are they double? Um, and I'm like, they're like, yeah. I was like, well, I think we just have to do the extra shot. They're like, okay. It's so funny. I am in Florida. I'm in 30A, Florida, in Blue Mountain Beach on the 30A, the historic and very popular 30A highway. So super, super fun. We are working on so many fun things. I'm working on the workbook to send out for the 3-day workshop. Seriously, this 3-day experience is going to be like nothing I've ever taught. It's going to be so good. So I'm so, so excited. So if you guys have anything, be sure to reach out to our team. I'm going to drop the link one more time so you can grab it and go ahead and sign up. Again, there's a free one and a $27 option. Pick whichever one you want. But if you go free, just know you need to watch it within 24 hours each day. All right. So fun. So, so good. All right, my friends. I will see you back here real soon. Talk later. Bye, guys.